You guys, what's up? Welcome back, and this is such an exciting video. I am super excited to talk to you about the Sephora sale details. I could not wait. I've been thinking about it every day, and then a couple of days ago the official deets posted to Instagram, so here we are. I'm ready to go through all the details with you, my wish list, which is quite extensive at this point, my recommendations, because we've got a lot of ground to cover and the sale is only a couple of weeks away. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, you guys, so first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through my my wish list. My wish list is quite extensive. So here's the thing. If you've been following me at least since the beginning of the year, you know I've been doing better or trying to do better at like what I've been buying. I've been trying not to buy everything under the sun, just trying to be a little bit more budget conscious. But with that, we know that the makeup industry releases stuff constantly. So obviously there's been things I've been wanting, I just haven't jumped on them. So they've been going into my loves list all this time. So my loves list is crazy long. So I have basically been, over the last few days, I've been narrowing down what I really want to pick up. Because obviously I can't pick up everything in my loves list. There would be no money in the world to do all that. So let's just go ahead and go into what I really want to pick up, what I'm planning on picking up, and then we'll go into recommendations from there. And between these two categories, I am sure there is something that's going to jump out at you that you didn't know about that you might want to add to your loves list as well. So first off, let's go ahead and go into the detail of the sale, because I know that's going to be the thing that pretty much you're probably most interested in. Now, first off, it is going to be tiered out as it usually is, nothing new there. It will start off with Rouge. It kicks off on April 26th and it goes until May 6th. That's a good amount of time to do some damage. That's 10 days. And you and I both know that as you get closer to the end of your little window, you're like, ooh, I think there's more things I need to order. We've all done it. And then VIB goes from May 2nd to May 6th. And then Beauty Insider goes from May 2nd to May 6th as well. So let's go ahead and go on into the percentages. I think if you're Rouge and you don't already know this, you're going to be very happy. So y'all know that the spring sale, while we all love a good makeup sale at Sephora because you can never get the stuff on sale, the percentage is typically 15%. I do know, based on all the comment feeds I was reading for Sephora and Ulta, that people were complaining big time as far as, like, I spend a lot of money to be a Rouge, how come it's still only the 15%, that kind of thing. Well, they changed it up. Sephora listened, which is kind of nice. So Rouge will actually get 20% off for the spring sale, which is awesome. I mean, even if it is an extra, like 5% doesn't seem like much. When you think of it in the grand scheme of things, the 15%, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for it. I'm not going to complain about it because it could very well be nothing. But it is true what people say, hey, like that's basically half of that is tax. So yes, it is. So that extra 5% adds a whole lot more, you know? And so it is going to be 20% off for Rouge. VIB will get the regular 15%, which is awesome. And then Insiders will get 10% off. So those are the 3 dates staggered out. Or basically 2 different dates, it's just that Rouge gets to start a little bit early, and then the 3 different percentages. So this is the Spring Bonus Beauty Insider event, and if you are Rouge, your coupon code will be Hey Rouge at checkout, and then as far as the other 2, I don't know. I only know what comes on my particular card and what is focused or photographed on Instagram at this time. So those are the details. Now that we've gone through that, now let's go into the juicy stuff. Like, okay, what exactly am I going to pick up? So there's quite a bit. What can I do? So the very first thing I want to try is the Touch in Soul Metallist Sparkling Foiled Eyeshadow, and I want to get the color Sun Aurora. I have swatched these in store and they are beautiful, but I am very skeptical when it comes to sparkly or glittery shadows or shades. And I have gotten to where I don't want to purchase it just to try it. I want to know that I'm going to like it for the most part because I don't want to return something that I've already used. But these are 18. Can you believe the dog just kicked the camera? So if you hear a bunch of let's turn you back over here. If you hear a bunch of biting or bone chewing, the dog is right over here and he is going to town on his bone. So I am already apologizing for the noise because I know when I edit, I'm going to be hearing all of it because I hear it very loud. So I am going to pick that up. I'm ready to pick one of those up, you guys. The next one is this one's a maybe. It's by Briogio. It's the Sea Goddess Hair and Body Shimmer Mist. And it looks really beautiful. It's $24. This is a strong maybe. I don't know that it's a for sure, but I've been really looking for something that I can spray into my hair that'll give me that glittery goodness without looking like my hair is flaky. You know what I mean? We'll see. Let's see. Next up is also a very strong maybe. It's the Natasha Denona Mini Bronze and Glow Cheek Duo. The highlighter in there is from the Diamond and Glow, I think it's Citrus. Is it Citrus? I can't remember. The deeper of the two. I don't own that one. And then the blush slash bronzer is a new shade and I can use that as a bronzer. So it's $19. It's a strong maybe. We'll see. This next one is a for sure. I am used to using the Beauty Blender Solid to clean my brushes and my beauty blenders, but I am going to go ahead and give the Beauty Blender Liquid Blender Cleanser a try. It's $18 for 5 ounces, and I don't know, I feel like I can make it last a little bit better. My solid runs out very quickly, and I know part of it's because I go through washing a ton of brushes at one time, but I think the liquid might be a little bit more geared to what I need. If you have used both, will you let me know in the comment section below which one you like more? Because I also don't want to pick it up if it's going to be, you know, if it's not going to be as good. But it is on my for sure's as of right now. Let's see, the Laneige Eye Sleeping Mask. This is a strong maybe only because I still have some in the one I'm going through right now, but I am down to the last fourth, and I have loved this very much. It's cooling the applicators, one of those little ball applicators that's just very like ceramic, and it's cooling, and just, I have very much liked it. So that is going to be a strong maybe. Let's see, this one's out of stock, and I don't know if it's going to come back in stock. If you see the camera moving, the dog's kicking the camera leg. It's so funny. So anyways, but I have been wanting one of her lipsticks in the shade Babe, and Sephora recently got them. But of course, that shade sold out very quickly, and because hers is not as common of a brand, I question how quickly that's going to come back in stock. So we'll see. This next one is an absolute must. It's the Farsali Rose Gold 24K Skin Mist. Of course, we've all seen Jaclyn Hill like rave about this. And then since then, I'm just going to leave it there, guys. If it keeps moving, it keeps moving. And so since then, I feel like I see it now on so many people's channels. So this is an absolute for me. And I heard people saying, you know, it's pricier for a mist, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, oh, it's probably like in the $50, $60 range, like YSL kind of price. Absolutely not. Well, no, it's $39. So with the 20% off, yeah, I am absolutely picking that up. I have really gotten into like skin mists and things like that. This next one is a maybe. I do absolutely want it. I just don't know if now's going to be the time I take the plunge. It's the Glow Recipe Pineapple C Brightening Serum. I love the brand Glow Recipe. Haven't been as crazy about the avocado lotion. It's thick the way I do like my lotions, very thick and, you know, creamy consistency. And I don't know, I haven't loved it as much as the Watermelon Glow. So I think I might wait it out, but it does have almost 5 stars, which is crazy. Next up, I went to Sephora because I was hearing all the hype on the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. And you guys know I love a luminous, dewy look. The more glazed donut, the better, truly. Like, I don't know what it is about that look that I just really love. So I did go into store because this cream is $68. And I said, you know, can I get a little sample? Because I'm trying to see what I want to pick up during the sale. They gave me a sample, and I have been using it to the point where I'm almost out and very heartbroken that I'm almost out. That tells me it's time to actually buy the full size. So I am going to pick that up while I can get it at 20% off. Next up, I am going to be picking up so I love the Sol de Janeiro sets. I had picked up the Boom Boom cream set for the holidays that came with like the actual Boom Boom cream, the body spray, because I was running not low, but I was starting to like work my way down on mine. It came with the hand cream, and I think the mini shower gel. It's just a really great way to go. Well, I've really been wanting to pick up, if you've seen, it's been a good amount of time since I've spoken that I want this mist. but the Sol de Janeiro Samba Mama Coco Cabana Trio. This one comes with the body lotion, which is that gel type consistency, the hand cream, and the body spray for $42. So that's going to be a must for me. I do want to pick that up. The next item that's an absolute must for me, it's going in my cart as soon as that sale goes live, is the Tarte Micellar Magic Makeup Remover and Cleanser. It's $18. I saw this in store the other day, even though they were sold out, but the tester, it is very large. And I'm thinking for $18, that's like a really good price. So I do want to pick that up. I love going in with a cotton swab or a cotton pad after I remove all my makeup or after I wash my face, just for any remaining stuff. Now, I don't typically do that very often. I had a little sample of a Dior micellar water, and it was like blowing my mind. And so I thought, well, I kind of want a little bit, I want to purchase one of these items, but I want it at like a lesser price. $18 will do it for me, and I love Tarte products. So next up, that's a for sure item that I had to restrain myself when this first released because it's $129, and it's the Natasha Denona Biba All Neutral Eyeshadow Palette. It swatches like a dream, but I said, you know what? We're like a month and a half out from the sale. I may as well wait. I want to save the money, and so this is the time that I will pick that up. So I am really excited to get my hands on that. The next thing, I am out, and when I say bone dry, I am out of my Fenty Pro Longwear foundation, Pro Filter foundation, sorry. And it's time. I need another one because that one's one of my favorites. And so I am in the shade, well, I was in the shade 190, but when she added more shades to her extension, or her extended lineup, my shade became 185, and it's the light medium neutral. And so I will be picking one of those up because I very much miss mine. Next up is an absolute, because I also went and got a little tester, and I have been working my way through that little tester and have been loving it. And it's the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation. This has kind of been like a hit or miss for people. I have since moved my stick foundation onto my mom. Even though I loved it, but I was getting towards the end. I'm like, here, go ahead and try it. I'm probably not going to use much of it anymore. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, it got so much hype, and then people were like saying it doesn't cover stuff, and I'm not crazy about it. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that's when I went for my tester, and I mean, you know, I'm buying it, so you know I love it. Next up, a for sure purchase is going to be one of the Fenty Beauty Stunna lip paints. I only have the red, which was the original one she came out with. As she has been releasing these, because they've not been limited edition, I'm like, okay, I can wait. They're $24. I'm going to pick up the shade Unlocked this time, which is kind of like that fuchsia pink, but it's almost like a little bit deeper than what the pictures, the stock photos showed. But that's the one that I want to pick up this go around. The next item is actually a maybe. It's something I absolutely want to pick up eventually. I just don't know if this is the time. It's the Glam Glow Super Toner Exfoliating Acid Solution Toner. I love Glam Glow beauty products, like as far as like skincare. Well, duh, that's pretty much what they make, but in my mind it's like the masks. No, I mean like the Glow Starter is probably one of my favorite face lotions of all time. And so I really want to try this toner out. It's getting almost 5 stars. It is $42, but again, I saw it in store the other day and it was quite hefty. So that's a definite maybe. I just don't know if this sale or the fall sale. Next up is the Briogio Be Well Organic and Cold Pressed 100% Castor Oil. I want to pick this up. This has been on my loves list for a while. It has gotten 5 full stars consistently. It's $26 and you can use it on your hair, you can use it on your skin, your nails, you know, it's just got so many benefits for so many different areas of the body. And so I primarily, I think, would use it for my hair, but I do want to pick that one up. Let's see, let's keep going on our list. Okay, next for sure item. I feel like I've got a lot of items that are up there in price, but I guess now's the time to get them. I've been waiting, I've been kind of good. The Glam Glow Good in Bed Passion Fruit Softening Night Cream. I had gotten a deluxe size of this with a online order. It was like a beauty offer. You know how you can select something with a $25 purchase, with a $35 purchase. And I went through that thing, and I am telling you, every morning that I would wake up and wash my face, my skin had never felt more plump and soft in my life. So it's $54. It's more than I like to pay for like my night cream, because y'all know I am ride or die for the Josie Maran Argan Oil Body Butter. That one has been, it's done wonders for my skin, and it's been like a product I keep in stock in my collection pretty much all the time, and I have been doing that for probably the last 7 or 8 years. In addition to that, the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow, those products have also been so tried and true for me. But this one, it's time to buy the full size, you guys. I am also halfway through my pack of my Shiseido facial cottons. And you guys, it may seem like so bougie. It is bougie, what can I say? To pay $12 for 165 cotton sheets, cotton pads, whatever. But if you take one of those and then you go back to the drugstore ones, your grocery store ones, you can so tell a difference. The little rounds that you get at your grocery store, like they've got those little hard strings sometimes, and they're just not as gentle. And these, I feel like, soak up less product, especially when you're using a pricey product. You don't want it all being soaked up. And I can't even tell you, like I can't go back to regular cotton sheets, cotton pads. And I know, again, that sounds so bougie, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm uppity and I only use the best. No, I mean, you guys know I like to save myself some money here and there. But they're $12. The pack I have has lasted me, because I don't use them every day. They have lasted me like a good year. And so I figure, okay, $12 minus the discount, I think I can swallow that. Next up, I do need to repurchase my Supergoop Everyday Sunscreen Broad Spectrum, my face lotion, which includes SPF. This has been a tried or true for me for about 2 years now, and I am down to about this much on the one that I have. I buy the 7.5 ounce. It lasts me a little over a year, but I'm at the point where it is time for a new one, because you know how sunscreen starts to go bad after a little while, you want to replace it. I'm going to finish it, I think, before it truly would have gone bad, but still, it's time to buy a new one. So that, guys, is my wish list. That is a lot of stuff, okay? So again, and that's because I pieced through even more to get to that. So I think there's still gonna have to be a few things I think there's gonna have to be a few things I still sift out of that, because I need to make sure I can afford all that, you know, before I go placing an order that I can't afford. But for the most part, those are going to be what I pick up during the sale. Now, let's move on to a few of my recommendations for you. So I'm going to move through some of this pretty quickly. I don't have a whole lot, quite frankly, from last sale to now. There has not been a plethora of stuff that has really wowed me and stood out to me. There have been a few things, and you may say, well, like your monthly favorites, you've got a lot of stuff that you've been loving. Yes, that's true, but keep in mind, some of that has been drugstore, some of that has been Ulta, like BH Cosmetics and stuff like that. The stuff I'm going to show you is what you can buy at Sephora. And so there have been some things that have been really, really amazing, and that I have been loving for the past few months, that I would say if you can get them this go around, then get them. The first, and I think this is going to be the thing I would recommend the highest, is the Anastasia Riviera palette. You guys, this thing is so amazing. This has been my favorite palette. One, since it released, but two, from, if I had to pick a favorite palette from last sale to this sale, it's going to be this one. Now, there are some people who say this isn't their cup of tea. I totally get that. It's got some brights in here that a lot of people shy away from, but this, guys, is the perfect spring and summer palette. The neon the neon in here is, like, to me, breathtaking. And then the metallics, it just, everything in this palette is so cohesive. It pairs so well together, and they are very, very rich in their pigmentation, and I love this palette. Like, to me, this is the best one that they've come out with, and I would highly recommend picking it up during the sale if it's something that has been, you know, of interest to you. So next up, I would highly recommend the Jouer Bouquet d'Amour blush palette. This has kind of been my go-to pretty much nonstop since I purchased it. Now, I do like to rotate out my products, and so it hasn't been the only one I've been using, but it's the one I reach for most frequently. I keep it in a little, so I don't know if you can, the desk behind me, let me see if I can, okay. You see right here, this like little cabinet door thingy, I keep it in there so that when I do my makeup in the mornings at the desk, I just open the little door and I take out my palette. This thing is so good, you guys. The packaging is really pretty, although I will say, Tara Babies, I don't know if you watch her videos, I love her. I think she's so awesome. If you like my content because it's a little bit more on the clean side as far as, I mean, you guys know I don't cuss or anything like that. She's also really great about keeping it, you know, clean in that sense. And so if you're interested in like seeing swatches and products, she does a ton of hauls. I've loved her for years, and so I would highly recommend her. But she had hauled this palette, and the weird thing is her cover was like going up, so the thing wouldn't close. So I don't know if there are some out there. I don't want to recommend it and then you get yours and it's like that. But as far as the products themselves, these blushes are so amazing. I think this is the perfect way to really like dip into the whole Jouer blush formula. This was my first time and I'm blown away. I love them. Now, I love that this came in a 6-pan palette because typically they do the duos, and I think this is absolutely more cost effective. And so this orange, I don't have anything like it in my collection. Yes, it is a little bit on the strong pigmentation side, especially for my skin tone, but with a very light hand, it gives you something that you pretty much probably don't have in your collection. These are just beautiful, and I think it's roughly about $40, and I think to me it runs up there with like Tarte and NARS blushes. So running a close second as far as eyeshadow palettes, like my favorites for, let's just say, the year or since last sale, guys, after the Riviera palette, this one does run a very close second. And if you have seen my review and my get ready with me for this palette, then you absolutely know what this is. It's the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea High Tides and Good Vibes eyeshadow palette. I kept the box. I just love how the box looks. I typically do that if the box looks different than the palette and I want to kind of keep it like in pristine condition. So obviously I did that with this one. This thing is so pretty. This is what it looks like. So it's got almost like, it mirrors the sea kind of thing. It's got like a water in there. It's very pretty. It's very different. It is extremely heavy. So I will say, if you're looking to shop for things that are travel friendly, this is not it. It is very, very heavy. It's probably the heaviest palette I own. I mean, I know you can say like, seriously, that thing doesn't look that heavy. No, it's kind of heavy. It is so beautiful, you guys. I can't even tell you how much I love the colors in here. Not only the colors, but the formulations. These shadows are intense. And when I say intense, some of them have like a cream to powder formula type of thing. They are very, very rich. I mean, I was so blown away, and I loved reaching for this one, especially because of these glitters. Now, if you own the Pretty Rich palette by Too Faced, or if you're familiar with it, you know there are some glitter shades in there that it's like chunky glitter, but it's suspended in kind of like a clear gel formula. This is that kind of same type of thing. However, I find these easier to use than that one. I hardly have to run my finger over one of these, and I get quite the amount of glitter. They are very opaque, so if you want to just put a layer of glitter on your lid, you can, without having to put a powder underneath or like an eyeshadow to kind of build up the opacity. These glitters are very opaque on their own. This is such a good palette, you guys, and I'm going to tell you it is only $39, which still kind of blows my mind a little bit. However, with the sale, $39 minus an extra percentage, you can't really go wrong with that. This one is amazing, and I see myself using this for a very long time. I can't even tell you. I highly recommend it. So these two are like the best eyeshadow palettes for me at this time. This next one is something I purchased at the beginning of the year. And I actually got mine at Ulta, but they now carry it at Sephora. They have for a while. And this has also been one of my favorite face palettes. I mean, there's just something about the consistency of these formulas. It's the Becca, Chloe, and Malika face palette. Mine is in the Chloe version because the Malika version was a little bit on the deep side, even though because of the baked formulation, I could make it work. And those shades are stunning as well. But anyways, mine is in the Chloe packaging, and this is what it looks like. These are super soft, super buildable. So you get a highlight, you get 2 blushes, and you get a bronzer. So it's a one-stop shop, and they are so soft to the touch. They look so good on the skin. They make my skin look really, really healthy. I love this thing, and I can't remember how much it was, but I think it's along the lines of like maybe $40 or so, plus your discount. Highly, highly recommend. It's not a brand new product, but it is worth getting if you have not already. Next up is something that is actually a very, I don't want to say old product, but it's something that it's been out for quite some time, a couple years probably. I will use it and then I'll kind of put it to the side to try other things, and then I keep coming back to it. And recently I came back to it and I'm like, I can't even with this. Like, I'm seriously considering repurchasing another one in case I run out, but I don't need another one right now. I'm going to say, never mind. No, I'm not going to do that. However, this is the Glam Glow Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer. It's the one I mentioned to you earlier in this video. Mine is in the shade Nude Glow. It smells like an orange creamsicle, so it smells so amazing. And there has not been a face lotion that gives me a glow like this one. If I want to go with no foundation, this thing will make my face look like it's beaming. It's crazy. This, a little mascara, a little brows, and I am good to go. It is so incredible. And then under foundation, it makes my foundation just look so healthy. This is amazing. And as soon as I am running low, which I'm about a little less than half at this point, I will be repurchasing another one. So I don't need it now, but if you have not tried this and are looking to pick one up, I say absolutely do it. 3 more products left, guys, on my recommendations. One is probably the most recent release. I don't know, all 3 of them are kind of recent, but I still have mine in the box. These things, you guys, I just can't. It's the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. You know how I am head over heels for the overnight sleeping mask. I've been using that one for about 2 years now. My little tub that I have now has lasted me over a year, and I still have a thin layer at the bottom. It's crazy. Nothing has helped my lips not be chapped. I wear a night guard, so I sleep with my mouth open. I'm going to pause that so I can tell you a funny story. Maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, I was on a flight to New York City and I had fallen asleep. It was an early flight. The flight attendant comes up to me after I wake up and he says, "Do you want me to get some water for you?" And I said, "No, I'm fine. Why?" And he said, you were sleeping with your mouth open, so I didn't know if your mouth was kind of parched." I was like, wow, no one's ever like flat out just come up to me and be like, "Hey, you sleep with your mouth open." I already know this to be true. My husband makes fun of me all the time. This, guys, is such an amazing follow-up to the overnight sleeping mask because it is that in a daytime version. So this one's a little bit lighter. It's definitely glossier, and wow, it will keep your lips moisturized for hours. At least it does me. And if you're looking for an alternative to, not an alternative, but something to help you with the dryness of liquid lipsticks, these are so incredible, you guys. They're $15, and with the discount, that makes it such an even better deal. The packaging is super, super cute. It comes with like a little tip applicator like a normal gloss would. And you just put it, I put it on, I let it sit for a little bit, and then I go in with my lipstick. The first time I apply lipstick, it'll sheer it out a little bit because it's got all that glossiness underneath. But honestly, it will keep my lips moisturized for hours. I purchased mine in the pear. However, considering picking one up in the peach, I didn't put that in my, in what I'm told you I'm purchasing, but it's because it's a real big maybe. But you guys, the smell of this one, the scent is amazing. The moisturization, the look, don't even think twice. Put this to your cart and just check out. All right, guys. All right, 2 more things. One is a bronzer, and you probably already know what I'm about to say if you're familiar with my channel. It is the Fenty Sunstalker Bronzer. This thing is so incredible. This Kylie bronzers have been my favorite ever since she released them. And you know, Fenty for me is like, I am never disappointed. I anticipate the next Fenty release like nothing else, and this was right up there with my Kylie bronzer. So yes, it tied. It didn't even beat out my Kylie bronzer because I still love that one. But the thing that they have in common is that they are so buttery, so smooth, and they're matte, which I prefer a little bit more of a glowy type of bronzer, but something about this formula just makes my skin look so airbrushed, and it makes it look like I didn't apply bronzer. Like the glow or the warmth to my skin is just part of my skin. This thing is amazing. It was $30. I am in the shade Shady Biz. I'm a light to light medium neutral skin tone, and this was the one that worked best for me. The packaging is everything. I highly recommend this if you're in the market for a bronzer. And then last but certainly not least is something I was not anticipating picking up, and then it kept on going out of stock, and then it kept on getting almost 5 stars, and I'm like, I am the highlight queen, and so if I pass on this and this was the next best highlighter, I'm going to be really upset with myself. And I kept the box because the box is really cute. It's the Ciate London Jessica Rabbit highlighter in the shade Roger Darling. It's the only highlighter, so it's not like there's other shades, but that's what it's called. The packaging is super cute. Now, I can't tell you if I'm like a fan of Jessica Rabbit or not. Well, I can tell you, I'm not. Because I don't even remember the movie, quite frankly. But this highlight is everything those reviewers said it was. It is very unique in that it's got this peachy pink gold kind of shift. And what had kind of scared me a little was people were saying that it is very like subtle, but you could build it up, and I'm like, yeah, I don't do subtle. But then people were also saying that it's beautiful. And Tara Babies, again, she had hauled it in one of her Saturday hauls, and that's what sold me. I was like, okay, next time it comes into stock, I will pick it up, and I am so glad I did. It's what I am wearing today, and this thing is so incredible. I mean, it's got her on, you've seen this already, I am more than sure. She's on the pan of product, and you guys, this thing builds up so quickly. I usually do 2 layers, but with 2 layers, you can tell that I'm beaming. This is such a pretty highlight, and Ciate, I already knew, made a formula of highlight that I love very much, and I knew I was like, okay, I gotta pick this thing up. So, that being said, I love this, and if you can get your hands on it during the sale, I wouldn't even wait, because it's also, I think, $30. That's their typical price for a highlighter these days. But to get the 10, 15, or 20% off, that's the way to go. Highly recommend this one. Okay, my friends, that brings us to the end of this Sephora, I was going to say Sephora haul. No, that's a little bit preliminary. That hasn't happened yet. This Sephora recommendations and wish list for the upcoming spring sale. I am super excited. Before I let you go, you guys, I want to give you the verse of the day just to give you a little bit of inspiration, just to kind of give you a little bit of encouragement. Today's comes from Proverbs 4:23, and it says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." I told y'all before, and I will tell you again, true beauty comes within, you guys. Makeup is just that. It's makeup, and it can make you feel creative and pretty, but at the end of the day, what's truly beautiful is your heart, is the inside. So just make sure that that counts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I was super excited to chat with you on all of these goodies from Sephora. I'm super intrigued to know what you're going to be picking up during the sale, because a lot of times that's how I find out about stuff. Not because I saw it on the Sephora site, but because sometimes y'all will give me recommendations or tell me what you're going to be picking up. So I'm really curious what you're going to be getting during the sale. Please comment below, and that way I can see, you know, hey, maybe there's something missing from my wish list. All right, guys, take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.